So, someone in the group gave some suggestions on things to talk about today, and I thought they were some really, really good ones. One was motivation, so that's what I'm going to kind of focus on today. And then if we have time, like if you guys don't, have that much to talk about with motivation, and we run out of things, I have a couple of other things, but I think motivation is BS. That's what I told you we were going to talk about, how motivation is BS. So it's something that I told myself for so long, like before I actually started losing weight, like I just don't know why I can't get motivated. I would always say that. And sometimes I still catch myself saying that, like, oh, I just don't feel motivated to do my workout. Do you guys use that as an excuse with yourselves sometimes?
Multiple times a week.
Yeah, I think most people do. And I think the big thing is that we have to know that no one is motivated every single day. Even like big time athletes, they do not wake up every day like, oh, I can't wait to work out. Chalene Johnson, who, Rachel, I know you know who she is. Kara, you will learn very soon who she is. She is the creator of some of the Beachbody programs, and she just like she does everything. She has a podcast, which I don't know if you're familiar with podcasts, but it is kind of like it's an app you can get for free if you have an iPhone. You already have it on your phone. If you have any other kind of smartphone, you can just go to your app store and download a free podcast player. But she has a podcast called The Chalene Show, and she does a lot of like live videos on Facebook talking about like fitness and really just anything. But she talks openly about how she does not wake up every day wanting to work out. And here she is, I mean, like a body to die for. She does work out every day. She probably eats cleaner than anybody in the world, and she creates fitness programs, and she doesn't crawl out of bed like, oh my God, I can't wait to work out. So I think that if you know and understand that not anybody has that feeling where they just can't wait to work out, you understand that you're normal. Because like I used to tell myself, I hate to admit this, I really do. And sometimes I still struggle with this with my like self-talk. I'll tell myself that I'm lazy. And that's not true. I am a hard worker. I am really busy. I do a lot of different things. I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker when it comes to the things I either want to do or the things that I'm disciplined to do. Like, for instance, cleaning my house is something that I used to hate cleaning. Like when I lived at home, when I was in high school, I had the messiest room ever. And I don't just mean messy, I mean like you couldn't tell if I had carpet or not. Like my room was a disaster. I hated cleaning my room. But then I moved out and got an apartment of my own in college, and I started noticing like the gratification that came from cleaning. My life felt more put together. I felt more organized. It didn't take me 30 minutes to find a clean outfit to wear that day. It just life was better when my stuff was organized. So now here I am, like 6 years later, I love to clean. Like it is like my therapy. I love to clean. And it's not the cleaning that I love, I don't think. I've convinced myself that it is, but I don't think it's that. I think it's the end gratification that you get from working out. So I think that, and I talked about this a little bit in a live video that I did when we first got started, but I just wanted to elaborate on it a little bit more. If you focus on the end results of working out, if you focus on like you guys have been talking a lot lately about like the energy that you feel, how you just feel like more alive and more ready for the day, and how it makes you stay, if you work out in the morning, it makes you stay more on track with your nutrition all day long. So if you focus on those things, that's step one to getting motivated, which I don't want to call it motivated. I want to call it discipline, because in my opinion, motivation wears off. You might, like whenever you started your program, say that you started the 21-day fix, you were probably very motivated the first day. Like you couldn't wait to do your workout that first day. Maybe even the second day. It maybe lasted the whole week. It could have lasted the whole 3 weeks. I can't tell you how it works for you. For me, my motivation probably wears off on like day 3. And then I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. Day 1, I'm good. Day 2, I'm feeling motivated. But by day 3, 4, 5, and forevermore, I have to find something else to make me work out. So step 1, that's focusing on that after. And if you focus on the after, it becomes step 2, a part of your routine. Like now cleaning my house, is a part of my routine that I get great satisfaction from, because then my life's organized. I feel like if someone text me and is like, hey, can I stop by? I don't have to cram shit in closets and, and clean up really quick. I feel better about my life when my house is clean. So if you treat your workouts like that, focus on the end result instead of the crappy part where maybe it takes an hour to clean or 30 minutes to do your workout, which 30 minutes is not that long. Can we just talk about that for a second? 30 minutes is not that long. But, and then that develops, which I think is the big kicker to creating an actual lifestyle change that's not fueled by motivation. It's discipline. So you become disciplined that no matter how you feel, unless you're sick, when you wake up in the morning, you're still going to do your workout, no matter how unmotivated, or maybe you had a long weekend and it's Monday and work sucked and you don't want to come home and work out. You do it anyway because it's a part of your routine and you're disciplined to do it. And it takes time to become disciplined, but I think that it does happen whenever you, like I said, focus on the gratification that you get after a workout and when you make it part of your routine. So that means planning it. I try in my meal plan, I haven't done it yet this week. I have my meal plan sitting right here. But I will write beside every day, okay, so Monday, I am going to be working out probably at 6 o'clock in the evening when Chris gets home from work. So, I'm going to put all my meals for the day. I'm going to put what workout I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm going to put the time that I'm working out. Because if I commit to that, if I put it in my schedule, it doesn't mean that I'm definitely going to do it. Just writing it down doesn't mean you're definitely going to do it. But I've planned it into my day. I've worked my whole day around that. So it's, I'm not really going to have an excuse. Could something come up? Sure. But I'm not really going to have an excuse. So, does all of that make sense? Does anyone have anything to add or comment on about that?
And it's funny that you're talking about this today because the post I did yesterday is a big thing as well. Motivation planning it and everything will get you out of bed, but continuing to make it even after 21 days or after, whatever the program is, you got to have a reason behind it. So
exactly. That's such a good point, and I hadn't even really planned to talk about that, which is so silly that I didn't. But I know that there's days where you wake up and you'd rather do anything else, or maybe you're really struggling with something in life, times are really hard, something's going on with your family, or I don't know, insert whatever struggles you're dealing with. But if you think back to why you started, for me, for those of you who know my story, for those who aren't one of my challengers, you might not know, but I lost a lot of my weight before Beachbody, and I lost a lot of my weight in an unhealthy way, and it ended me really sick. it ended me having to go see doctors because my hair was falling out, because I wasn't like eating at all. And for me, Beachbody gave me a life of balance where I learned to eat right, to also treat myself every now and then. So to me, Beachbody and like my reason why I do this, why I work out every day and why I eat clean every day is one, so that I don't gain back the 170 pounds that I lost. And if I think about that every day, like, okay, Mary Carolyn, if you skip, a day of working out, is one day working out and not eating clean, is that going to make me gain 170 pounds? No, it's not, but it is going to put me on that slope to where, I could really go off track. So I think back to why I started, and that's different for everybody. A lot of people who will be listening to this call, they started because they wanted to be really good role models for their kids. They started for their kids. They wanted to lose weight so they could run around and play with them and ride roller coasters with them and whatever. And, I don't have kids, but they're still like the kids that I don't have, they're still part of my why too. Because at the weight I used to be, I don't think I could have had kids. And if I did have kids, I wouldn't have lived very long to, watch them grow up and become adults. So think about whatever your why is, think about it. And there's a saying that I heard when I actually first started: if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. And, maybe not everyone has, like I talked about like my 170-pound weight loss and like being scared to go back. I know that's not like everybody's story, but everybody has a story. Maybe you've been overweight your whole life, and you want to move past that. You don't want to go back to that, and that's your why. It doesn't really matter what it is, but if it's deep enough to you that it makes you press on even through the bad days, I think that's really huge. I'm really glad you mentioned that, Rachel.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm sorry. The other couple of things that I think we'll have time to talk about. I'm not going to touch on them big. I might, again, like we might have, a call that will go deeper on this in the future. But someone asked about ways to manage stress and like positive self-talk, and just like, I think that those kind of go hand in hand. Like, at least for me, they do. So one way that I really manage stress is my workout. Like, we all know that, I think it's the same for everybody. Everyone I've talked to says that, working out really helps their anxiety and their depression and just their stress overall. And if like every bad part of your day, if you take that out on your workout, and what I mean by that is just like really push through and like give your workout all that you have and increase your weights and think about the shitty day and like how you're just using all of your built up energy, your anger or frustration or whatever it is, putting that energy instead of into the anger and the frustration into your workout. But I listen to a ton of personal development, and first I need a disclaimer, because when I it's a big part of like coaching, like in our trainings to become a coach, we are told to do personal development. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be one of those people who listens to like self-help CDs. Like, I thought it was cheesy. I really honestly did. It wasn't that I didn't think I needed personal development. I knew I had problems and that I, needed some personal development or something. But I thought it was cheesy. I didn't think it would help me. I just didn't. But I started listening to Chalene Johnson, who I talked about, just a few minutes ago. She has a podcast called The Chalene Show, and I'm going to make a list of my favorite podcasts and my favorite books, and I'm going to create it in a document where people can add things to it, which will be really cool. But I started listening to The Chalene Show. And most of hers are short. They're like 15, 20 minutes. Some of them are longer. But I started listening to them, and some of hers are about confidence, motivation, discipline, those things that we talked about. Some are about family, fitness, eat, like nutrition. They're about literally everything under the sun. But I noticed that I would listen to one and I would like feel a little bit better. So then I got to the point where I was listening to like every chance I got. Like I love music. I listen to music all the time. But I got to the point where when I was like doing my hair and makeup, instead of listening to music, I like couldn't wait to turn on my podcast. I don't know why. If you haven't started listening to personal development yet, you're probably where I was saying, this chick's whack. Like, she's crazy. Personal development's cheesy. I get it. I thought that too. But it really, really helped me. So then I moved on, and now I listen to Audible, which, again, anyone can download Audible. It costs like $12 a month, $12.99 a month, I think it is, and you automatically with that get one free book a month. I have ADD, and I really struggle sitting down to read a book. I try, but I really struggle with focusing. So Audible, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of too white to see, but it reads you books on there. So it's $12.99 a month, and you get one free book, which if you're buying one book a month, it's going to cost, something like $12.99 or $15 a month anyway. So I listen to those, and some of my favorite personal development books, I love The Energy Bus. Rachel, I think you read The Energy Bus. And I'm not talking, these aren't books about fitness and nutrition. Maybe you think that. It's not just about that. It's about confidence. It's about dealing with stress.
You can literally find a book on anything. Anything you're going through in life, there is someone else who's been there and you can relate to them, and you can get tips, and you can just feel like someone else has been in your shoes, and you just, I don't know, you feel a sense of comfort.
Exactly. So you asked me how I manage my stress and how I work on positive self-talk. That's it. I love personal development. I listen to part of a book or a podcast every single day, and it just puts me in a better mindset. It makes me happier. And, I think part of it is like choosing the right things to read personal development on. Like, if you don't struggle with confidence, if you're a very confident person, don't pick a book on confidence. It's not going to help you. But if you're not very confident and your confidence is causing issues in your life or in your relationships or whatever it may be, pick a book on that. If you're struggling with negative self-talk, like if you tell things, like I said, like if you're constantly telling yourself you're lazy, and then you're talking yourself into not working out because you think you're lazy, or whatever it is, like Rachel said, there's a book for it. There's a podcast for it. So over the next couple of days, I'm going to work on compiling a list, and I'll put it in a document where other people can add things to it. But it really, really helps me. So that was kind of, in a nutshell, everything that Jess wanted me to talk about on this call. I got accomplished. Does anyone have anything to say or questions? Doesn't have to be about anything we talked about today.
Just with the personal development thing, I know you have told me many, many times that if you're reading personal development and you're not implementing them, then you're wasting your time. So you need to be, if you want to make a change in your life with personal development, you need to use it. I don't know.
Implement it. Yeah. Like if a book tells you, like one big thing that mine, like I said, is negative self-talk. And one thing that I've really learned is every time I have a negative self-thought is to redirect it with a positive one. So if I would have read that, read that that's what I'm supposed to do, but I don't actually do it, if I still talk to myself like shit and still don't redirect that thought to something good about myself, it's not going to do me any good. I'm just listening to a book to listen to a book. You have to, implement the things. That's a good point. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything like not even related to what we talked about, just something they wanted to chat about or struggling with or anything like that? No? Okay. Well, you guys have an awesome, awesome weekend. We're headed into week 3. So this is exciting. Super, super exciting. I am actually going to redo week 2 of Shift Shop because I really wanted to do this program by the book, and missing 4 workouts is pretty big in a 3-week program. So that's part of it, is like rolling with the punches and just going on anyway. So I'm redoing week 2 of Shift Shop. I know Rachel is moving on with 22-minute hardcore.
Week 5.
What?
Week 5.
Week 5. That's crazy.
Out of 9 weeks. I'm gonna do the Hell Week one. So it's gonna be 9 weeks.
You are a brave woman.
She is brave. I hate that program.
I'm determined.
I don't know why. I can't get myself to like it. I can't.
I actually love it. I love the repetition and feeling like I'm actually, like, every time I get stronger, and I just feel like I'm accomplishing so much more every time I do the workout over and over.
That's awesome. But I mean, that's one thing I love so much about Beachbody, and like have everyone having on demand now, because there's so many workouts that maybe you wouldn't have tried, and you wouldn't have paid $60 to buy 22-minute hardcore because you might not think you'd like it, but you do.
I thought I liked it.
Exactly. There's a program out there for everybody. Autumn Calabrese is coming out with a new program. Did you see?
I'm so excited.
Like an 80-day program. I love her too. So I'm excited about that. But all right, guys. Well, I will let you go. Have an awesome weekend and an awesome week to come. And keep on checking in. I love seeing everyone's check-ins every single day. I will post the recording, and I will get that list going of all the personal development stuff.
Sounds great.
All righty. Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.